Rumble Cloud. Your freedom, our promise. Break free from big tech's grip with a cloud service that champions your right to innovate. No vendor lock-in, no hidden fees, just transparent, predictable pricing. Trust a company that supports a free and open internet, ensuring your business thrives. Embrace true digital independence. Rumble Cloud. Your cloud, your freedom. Sign up today at rumble.cloud.
Today, we're kicking off my administration's Neighborhood Homes for All of Us, a community-driven effort to add a new kind of housing product thoughtfully across the city. What you see is a collection of townhomes, row homes, flats, and other small-scale homes. These are the kinds of homes that our residents have been asking for. And these are the kinds of homes that will allow the next generations of San Diegans to stay in the neighborhoods they love.
This is an invitation to rethink how our neighborhoods can grow and what they can grow into. It's an invitation to welcome home our teachers, our nurses, our small business owners, and our first-time home buyers.
Building housing and diversifying the housing type is a critical step to delivering more affordable options for San Diego residents. Neighborhood Homes for All is designed to save time, money, and streamline the building process. And we will do this within the framework of our existing communities. We will do this by giving families the housing options they clearly want. And we will do this by producing homes San Diegans can afford, where they can build a life and build generational wealth in the neighborhoods they grew up in and the communities they love.
Neighborhood Homes for All of Us is the next step in this process. It is an essential step in this process in making sure that San Diego is a city where everyone has a chance to own a home and build a future.
These specific projects were selected based on the benefits that they're bringing to the community. So one of the projects is serving seniors, another has an on-site daycare, and two of the projects are located in our state-designated high or highest resource area, which means that it has a plethora of access to jobs, education, parks, public space, healthy food, and low access to environmental hazards.
Exactly a year ago, you would have seen anywhere from about 75 to 100 people living in this island area.
What's important to remember is the outreach that we launched in July was 4 months earlier, so that we could take the time to engage individuals and actually better understand what someone wanted and what someone needed, instead of just coming in and saying, okay, we're cleaning it up, you gotta go.
So from July all the way to November, they were out here trying to get people into some type of shelter option. So by the time that we came out here, there had already been months of outreach occurring. So when we came, that was the day where we were actually gonna be getting all the trash, all the people, everything out of here, so it could go back to being what's supposed to be, part of the river.
Since then, park rangers have been out here daily, and that's been a very big group effort. So park rangers from all units, department-wide, have been coming out here to patrol.
This area right here, it floods. It goes straight into the ocean. We don't want people in this area because when the rains come, the tide goes up, you know, we have to have our police department, our lifeguards, our fire department out here risking their lives for people living out here. So getting them out of this area is very important, not only for them, but for our employees.
Because rangers are on top and being consistent with patrolling, the area has stayed consistently clean. It's super rewarding to come out here and see all the wildlife that's kind of reemerged in the area, and know that they now have a clean environment to habitate and live their little happy lives.
78 tons of trash, over 1,300 pounds of hazardous and biohazardous waste on these islands. So getting all that, but when I see the wildlife that's out here, you see ducks, you see cranes, you see things that we didn't see a year and a half ago. That's one of the ways I know that we did good out here, is seeing the wildlife returning.
This work isn't done. We're still here in the riverbed. We're still engaging individuals. I think something that's the larger celebration is that 59 are currently in permanent housing right now, whether it be through diversion efforts all the way to permanent supportive housing. And we have 42 that are continuing to work on identifying next steps in their journey.
I'm proud of the work that our teams did. We put tax dollars to work, and people are just used to, when you throw tax dollars at something, the problem doesn't necessarily go away. So I'm happy to see that this area has maintained and that we are putting that money that we use for this to good use.
It's always great to be here in San Ysidro. We're here a lot these days. There's a lot of good things going on down here in this community. In fact, it was exactly 2 years ago today that we stood on this piece of land, what was then just a patch of dirt, to break ground on this project. 2 years later, here we are to dedicate and add 100 new units of affordable housing to our city's inventory of homes that everyday San Diegans can afford. This is difficult work, and the fact that we have people who are passionate about this issue, myself included, is why we're making some progress, and hopefully people start to feel it in their pocketbooks.
This is a proud moment, not just for the community, but for the entire city, because today we're opening up 100 new affordable homes for families. This is how we address the housing crisis, with action, but also with compassion. And today, this commitment stands right here in an embodiment at the Iris.
The Iris is more than just a building. It is a bold statement about our values. This is not just housing. This is thoughtful, sustainable, and connected development.
The county is dedicated to improving health outcomes, fostering stability, and opening doors for residents to thrive.
We're also making investments across the street at Howard Lane Park. I think that's important. When we ask communities to accept more homes in their community, it should not just benefit the new folks who arrive in the community. It shouldn't just help the new folks. It should help the existing people who live in the community. And that's exactly what we're going to do with Howard Lane Park, so that they can all feel like their quality of life is being enriched by this new housing, which I believe that it does. This truly is a great day in our city.
So currently here at the Miramar Greenery, we separate any contaminants from our organic waste materials and compost through a screening process. That removes most of the contamination, and our end compost has less than 1% contamination by weight. This process that we're piloting right now removes contaminants on the front end of that process, which then will result in a lower amount of contaminants at the end, which is a better compost product to put out in our community. Organic materials, when they go to the landfill, create both methane and leachate, which then we have to control through environmental containment systems, and can create air pollution as well as water pollution if not managed appropriately. When we divert organic materials through composting programs like this and other programs around our region, we're able to reduce that amount of methane, capture a viable, reusable resource, and get it back out into the community. Compost can replace chemical fertilizers, which then improves the overall environment that we all live in.
Well, the green bin, it's meant for all of your organic waste material. That would be all of your yard trimmings, so maybe your grass cuttings, maybe you're trimming bushes, plants, flowers. It also includes all of your food scraps. So any vegetable, fruit, even your meat and bones, your bread, as well as food soiled paper products. And when I say that, I mean, think of a coffee filter with coffee grounds in it, or napkins or paper towels that have been used and soiled. All of that can go in your green bin. The city is educating all of our residents, people who live and work in the city of San Diego, about their green bin and what they are allowed to put in it and what they're not allowed to put in it. So we do not allow plastic bags or compostable bags at our greenery composting processing facility.
The city's replacing the old black trash containers because there are several benefits to these new containers. They're less prone to breakage because they're newer containers. There's also new educational labels on the trash and recycling containers that make it easier to know how to sort correctly. Also, the new gray trash color containers also make it easier and more quickly for our drivers to identify which containers to service. There are also scannable tags in the containers that will help allow the city to improve and track our performance and our services. All of the old containers are being recycled, working closely with our partner, Rare Pacific Company, to ensure that all of the old containers are given a second life and recycled.
The old containers are now being part of the circular process that keeps plastic and metal out of the landfill and again being recycled to give that second life. Once we receive those old containers, we're cleaning and emptying those out and then preparing them to be processed for a plastic rebrine. This initial material processing of chipping the plastic happens directly here in San Diego at our collections yard, which reduces the transport costs and the emissions, creating a true closed loop cycle.
AB 379 enhances our city's ability to combat prostitution and human trafficking, to improve quality of life in affected neighborhoods, and to protect vulnerable women and children from exploitation. For years, our laws have focused overwhelmingly on those being sold rather than those driving the demand. This bill reflects a simple reality. If we want to reduce exploitation, we must reduce demand.
Until this year, you could still buy a child under 18 for sex and face a misdemeanor, not a felony. This law changes that.
And this bill is going to be instrumental at not only being able to take enforcement on the demand side, but also have the funding that's necessary for the supportive programs to help our youth, our young ladies that are involved in this trade and really in just a bad position in life.
This law will be a game changer and will allow police and prosecutors to do our jobs of protecting the most vulnerable.
San Diego is not a place to traffic in children. And if you do it, you're going to have a police department that's going to arrest you, and you're going to have a DA that's going to prosecute you. Don't do it here.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2.
Rock and roll. Good afternoon. I now reconvene and call the special City Council meeting of Thursday, January 15th, 2026 to order. I am San Diego City Council President Joe LaCava, representing Council District 1. My colleagues on the San Diego Council who are here with us in attendance, representing Council District 6, City Council President Pro Tem Kent Lee. There we go. I'm sorry we didn't have cue cards for you all in the audience. Representing Council District 2, Council Member Jennifer Campbell. Representing Council District 3, Council Member Stephen Whitburn. Representing Council District 4, Council Member Henry Foster III. Representing Council District 5, Council Member Marnie Von Wilpert. Representing Council District 8, Council Member Vivian Moreno. And representing Council District 9, Council Member Sean Elo Rivera. With council members present in chambers, a quorum is established and we are reconvened. We'd also like to acknowledge City Attorney Heather Ferbert, Independent Budget Analyst Charles Modica, City Clerk Deanna Fuentes, and City Auditor Andy Hanau. I welcome all of you here in City Council chambers and everyone watching at home to the 2026 State of the City address by our Mayor, the Honorable Todd Gloria. In addition, and I ask you to hold your applause, I know it will be difficult, we have a number of elected officials in attendance, including California State Senator Catherine Blakespear, County Supervisor Paloma Aguirre, County Supervisor Joel Anderson, County Assessor Recorder Clerk Jordan Marks, San Diego Unified School District Trustee Shauna Hazen, and San Ysidro School Board Trustee Martin Arias. We also have representatives from the offices of Governor Gavin Newsom, U.S. Senator Alex Padilla, U.S. Senator Adam Schiff, Congressman Juan Vargas, Congressman Mike Levin, State Senators Brian Jones and Steve Padilla, State Assembly members David Alvarez, Tasha Berner, Lachey Sharp Collins, Darshana Patel, and Chris Ward, and also a representative for District Attorney Summer Steffen. I also recognize our international friends in attendance, including Ensenada Mayor Claudia Agon Munoz, Consul General of Mexico Ambassador Alicia Kerber Palma, representatives from Tijuana and the state of Baja California, and honorary consul generals representing Brazil, Philippines, and Portugal. To our elected officials and representatives, if you would please join me in standing and give them a warm round of applause and a welcome to City Hall. Again, thank you all for being here for the 2026 State of the City Address. Just a reminder, as we are in City Council chambers and this is an official City Council meeting, it is important that those in attendance be respectful during the entirety of this meeting. At the beginning of the meeting at 1 p.m., we went over the city's practices, procedures for public comment at City Council meetings, and the Council took public comment at that time. We have these practices and procedures to protect the rights of speakers who wish to address the Council and to allow the city to conduct the public's business. At this point, if any person or group of persons engages in behavior that disrupts, disturbs, or impedes the orderly conduct of the meeting, they will be in violation of state law and the rules of council in the municipal code and will be removed from the meeting. Once again, we have these practices and procedures to allow the city to conduct the public's business. To begin today's ceremony, we respectfully acknowledge that we are on Native American land. So please rise and join me as I lead us in a land acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that Kumeyaay Nation are the original inhabitants of the unceded land now known as San Diego. Despite enduring the horrors of genocide and colonization, the Kumeyaay spirit remains unbroken. We honor the resilience of those ancestors who fought to protect their culture and land, and today they carry their legacy forward, ensuring that their traditions continue to thrive in gratitude and strength. We stand with the Kumeyaay Nation, connected to our past and committed to a thriving future. Please remain standing. And with that, San Diego is proud to be one of the safest big cities in the country. And that is thanks to our brave public safety professionals, including our very own San Diego Police and Fire Rescue Departments. To provide today's invocation is Chuck Price, the chaplain for the San Diego Police Department. Chaplain Price.
Will you please bow in prayer with me? Heavenly Father, we thank you for this moment together to reflect on where we have been and to look ahead on where we are going. As we consider the work that has been done and the work still before us, may we not overlook the foundational gifts we so often take for granted. The breath in our lungs, the hearts that beat within us, the capacity to think and reason, the blessing of loving and being loved, and the full range of human experience from joy to sorrow that shapes who we are. As we move forward, we ask that you grant wisdom and understanding to our elected officials and all leaders throughout this city. May they serve the people of San Diego with humility, integrity, and honor. Guide the mayor, the city council, and all who carry responsibility to lead with servants' hearts, placing the needs of others above their own. Grant them discernment beyond their years, experience, and training, and empower them to use their God-given talents to cultivate a city that is safe, strong, and thriving. Bless our time together today, the words that the mayor will share, this remarkable city, and all who are proud to call San Diego home. And we pray all these things in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Here today to present the colors is the San Diego Fire Rescue Department Honor Guard. I ask you to continue to remain standing, if you're able, for the presentation of colors and for the Pledge of Allegiance and National Anthem. Honor Guard, please present the colors. Many of you may know that at the age of 10, Mayor Gloria was runner-up for Mayor Maureen O'Connor's Mayor for a Day contest. Now, as the 37th mayor of the city, Mayor Gloria relaunched the contest to inspire young leaders to become more civically engaged and hopefully pursue careers in public service. Leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance is this year's Mayor for a Day contest winner, an 8th grade student from Montgomery Middle School and a resident of Linda Vista, Aubrey Yang.
Please place your right hand over your heart and begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
To perform our national anthem, please join me in welcoming actress and San Diego Film Consortium Ambassador April Paje.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you.
As you see them doing, Honor Guard, please retire the colors. You all may be seated. Thank you. It is now my tremendous honor to introduce the 37th Mayor of the City of San Diego, the Honorable Todd Gloria, to provide today's State of the City address. Mayor Gloria.
Thank you, Council President LaCava and members of the City Council, City Attorney Ferbert, and honorable regional, state, and federal elected officials, our friends from Mexico and the Consular Corps from around the world, and most of all, my fellow San Diegans. 5 years ago, when I took the oath to be your mayor, I did so with open eyes. I knew that our city faced tough problems, and I knew that we had long-deferred responsibilities. I knew that there would be days like many that we've experienced together this past year, when the decisions we had to make would be hard and the headlines would be harsh. But I also knew this: San Diego was ready to stop running from its problems. I believed that our city was ready for a new era defined by honesty, urgency, and action. Not just big ideas, but real results in neighborhoods in every corner of San Diego. And I also believed something else: that San Diego was ready to stop leaning on yesterday's habits and start doing the work of building a city that functions for the people who live here. Because the choice in front of any great city is whether to stay comfortable with what it is or to do the hard work to build what can be. Today, I speak with you in that same spirit, with clarity about the work, confidence in our direction, and a deep belief in what this city can be. Because the city of San Diego is a major American city, the 8th largest in the United States and the 2nd largest in California. We are a vibrant, diverse, and dynamic place that people from all around the world are choosing to visit, to invest in, and to call home. And that demands that we don't shrink from our challenges, but instead rise up to meet them and rise up to match the scale, the responsibility, and the promise of who we are. And that's what we've done over these last 5 years. And as a result, the city of San Diego is moving with intention, we are building with purpose, and we are governing with responsibility. We are a city in transformation, and you can see it. Today, I'm going to walk through what the transformation of our city looks like in our finances, in housing, homelessness, public safety, infrastructure, and in the global standing of the city that we are becoming. I'll be honest about the challenges that we still face, and I will prove our progress with results that you don't have to imagine. They are results that you can see. To understand why these results matter, it's important to understand what we were up against and how this city has operated for too long. You see, historically, San Diego has not always acted like the big city that it is, avoiding hard conversations, dodging necessary choices, and pushing problems down the road for somebody someday to solve. Meanwhile, the warning signs were in plain sight. Costs rising, demands for services growing, infrastructure aging, and a city budget that simply did not keep up. That brought us to one of the most significant fiscal challenges in our city's modern history, a $318 million structural budget deficit. A deficit that did not appear overnight, but accumulated over decades of underfunding, undercharging, and undermining the city services that you rely on. So my administration did what we have always done, and what I believe leadership requires. We faced it directly. And I set the bold goal of trying to close the structural deficit in 1 year. We reduced spending, restructured leadership, eliminated 9 city departments, and cut $35 million in outside contracts and management positions. We moved city employees out of rented office space and into city-owned spaces, saving $13 million. We made the tough calls to bring our finances closer to long-term stability. Because if we're going to deliver on the basics that you expect, we have to fund the city that we are today, not the city that we were 30 years ago. As a result, this year alone, we solved for $270 million of that deficit, a major step towards restoring long-term financial stability and closer to true structural balance. That does mean we will have more tough decisions and cuts this year to solve the remainder of the deficit, as well as the unanticipated economic challenges posed by the Trump administration's tariffs and budget cuts that are beyond our control. I know that that's not easy to hear, and I know that none of it has been easy to live through. I hear the frustrations, and I share them. But the truth is that we cannot build a stronger San Diego on a fragile foundation. First, you stabilize the ground beneath your feet, and then you build something better and higher. If you want to understand the future that we are building in San Diego, look at housing. It is the thread that runs through everything: the economy and jobs, the cost of living, traffic, homelessness, climate action, and most of all, the ability for families to put down roots. I've always said a great city cannot be a place just for the very wealthy who can afford to live here while the rest of us get priced out. A great city is one where anyone who works hard and plays by the rules can afford to live here, where the people who teach our kids, protect our neighborhoods, attend our universities, and power our economy can live and thrive here. And that's why housing remains at the center of my administration's agenda. Because building housing is not ideological. It is one of the most basic responsibilities of a city. And what San Diego is doing right now represents one of the most ambitious housing agendas in California. A recent UC Berkeley study highlighted how San Diego has become one of the state's leading cities in reforming housing policy to build more homes, saying, quote, San Diego's recent efforts do provide a roadmap for cities seeking to increase housing production and expedite housing projects. We've reformed outdated zoning to make room for new housing where it makes sense. We've streamlined approvals, reduced bureaucratic delays, and modernized building standards so that projects can move faster while still meeting the safety and design standards that San Diegans expect. We have completed community plan updates in Mira Mesa, Barrio Logan, Claremont, the college area, University, and Hillcrest, adding the capacity for 105,000 new homes. This year, according to preliminary data, the city of San Diego permitted roughly 500 homes in 2025. For context, during the 2 decades prior, the city permitted on average 4,300 new homes. We have nearly doubled our historic performance. And through our Bridge to Home program, Through our Bridge to Home program, we help fund 2,676 new affordable homes. And in a matter of a few weeks, we will be making funding available for hundreds more. Through our Affordable Housing Permit Now program, we have greenlit 4,300 more homes with another 2,000 in the pipeline. And you don't need a chart to understand what that means. You can see it. Cranes in the air, crews at work, foundations being poured, roofs popping up, homes are being built. From Grantville to San Ysidro, Pacific Beach to City Heights, Rancho Bernardo to Bankers Hill, downtown to Mission Valley, Point Loma to University Heights. And as a result, we are starting to see what happens when you build more homes. For the first time in 25 years, we've started to see promising trends in rents declining year over year. We're also pairing production with protections, strengthening tenants' rights, expanding rental assistance, and preventing evictions. Still, I know that even with all this progress, the cost of living remains too expensive for too many families. And until more San Diegans can look at their rent or mortgage without cringing, our work is not finished. The City of San Diego will continue to do its part to build locally, but I will continue to push regionally and statewide to build more homes. We also have to be honest. This crisis will not be solved city by city. It is high time that we nationalize this conversation. Later this year, I will have an opportunity to help lead that effort as I assume the presidency of the United States Conference of Mayors, the bipartisan voice for America's mayors for nearly a century. For the first time, San Diego will lead this organization, and I will do so with a laser focus on building more homes and bringing costs down. Because this is not just a San Diego problem.
Gloria, you're not eating shit. You're eating your fucking staff. There's only 7 seats for Republicans. What the fuck are you eating? You're not eating shit in the city. You're afraid of us. All we're trying to do is meet with you, and you won't meet with us. You won't meet with us. You won't meet with us, Doc. You're scared of our voices. All we're trying to do is meet with you. You're denying our request to meet with you. Meet with us.
This is not just a San Diego problem. It's an American problem. And the federal government needs to get into the game. The Trump administration must strengthen, not gut, the tools that communities use to build and to make the American dream real again. And we must make it real again, not just by preserving the version that we inherited, but also by making it work for this generation of Americans. Because for some, homeownership is seen to exist only as a single-family home, when for many, it can look like so much more. It can be row homes, townhomes, condos, homes that fit families and budgets and fit into existing neighborhoods. That's why this past year, I introduced my Neighborhood Homes for All of Us initiative, designed to create more kinds of housing for working and middle-class San Diegans. That initiative aims to allow the kinds of homes that I just described in places where they are prohibited today. And we are currently conducting public engagement on this initiative, and my administration will bring forward a proposal for the City Council's consideration later this year, and I urge their adoption of it. In addition to these policy changes, this year we will be pairing that with another key priority, transforming underused city land into housing at a scale that is necessary. And that includes the sports arena property. Now, legal challenges have caused some to doubt the future of the project known as Midway Rising. So let me be very clear. The redevelopment of the sports arena will be moving forward. We will be getting this done. This 48-acre site of underutilized public property can be transformed into over 4,200 new homes with quality, affordable housing, 14 acres of new parks, and a world-class arena to attract more events and talent to our city. Public land should serve the public. And right now, serving the public means building more homes. So this spring, I will bring this project forward for public hearings and a vote from the City Council. Let me also say this. I remain focused on converting other city-owned property, like 101 Ash, the old Central Library, and the indoor skydiving facility into more housing. And that also includes this Civic Center property, where I know that we can reimagine and activate it to the benefit of the people of San Diego. This year, I will bring forward for the City Council's consideration a proposal to enter into an exclusive negotiating agreement with the San Diego Community College District for the redevelopment of Golden Hall. And my office will continue to work diligently with the community and the Prebys Foundation on advancing the broader vision for this property this year, which will ultimately allow for housing, public spaces, and the revitalization of our civic core. Because when we expand housing opportunity, it doesn't just change a skyline or improve a neighborhood. It changes what is possible for people. And when housing is scarce and unaffordable, you don't just feel it on the first of the month. You see it in the consequences in human lives pushed to the edge and onto our streets. My administration has approached homelessness with a clear understanding. This issue is urgent, it is complex, and it demands action. And the results of our efforts are becoming clearer. This past year, the Regional Task Force on Homelessness reported a nearly 14% reduction in unsheltered homelessness in the city of San Diego. And the Downtown San Diego Partnership has also recorded a dramatic decrease in tent encampments. You can see it, and the data confirms it. Together, we are expanding shelter, strengthening outreach, creating real pathways off the streets. And we've done it by insisting on a simple truth. A sidewalk is not a home. In 2025 alone, we connected more than 1,350 people to housing, which brings us to nearly 7,000 people housed over the 5 years of my administration. And we've expanded options for people living in their vehicles. As promised, we opened the city's largest safe parking lot at H Barracks near the San Diego International Airport, offering 190 spaces for cars and RVs. And as a result, we're able to resume enforcement of the city's oversized vehicle ordinance, which had been legally challenged, allowing RVs to proliferate with no recourse until the lawsuit was resolved. With H Barracks, we now have a safe alternative for people living in their vehicles, and that is what has made enforcement fair and possible again. We've applied that very same approach to another area where the city's hands have been tied for years: encampments along our freeways. Thanks to the good work of our government affairs team, and with support from State Senator Catherine Blakespear, who is here with us today, we reached an agreement with Caltrans that has allowed us to clear encampments along select freeway on and off ramps. We have cleared 208 tons of trash, and we've connected 95 people living on state property to shelter or services. And we are seeing another important result. Preliminary data shows encampment-related fires along our freeway corridors are down 48%. That means fewer dangerous fires, fewer road closures, fewer risks to public property and our first responders. And I want to thank our Fire Rescue Chief, Rob Logan, for his leadership and partnership in driving that progress. Chief, thank you very, very much. Anyone else? All right, it's back to running the city. These outcomes are real, and you can see them. And we can also see that there's so much more to do, and I want to do more. Because this agreement with Caltrans has proven so successful, I am urging state leaders to expand it and allow city crews to cover more areas next to freeways where we know tent encampments exist. And I'm making that ask because the momentum and the progress are real, but it's not permanent unless we can maintain it. The work that we've done depends on maintaining partnerships and funding. And right now, I need you to know I am concerned that that stability is at risk. At the federal level, the Trump administration's illegal and reckless policy changes to HUD funding have created a real vulnerability for cities like ours that could push people out of our shelters and back onto the streets. If those federal dollars are delayed, reduced, or eliminated, you will soon see the results in your neighborhood and on your sidewalk. And at the state level, California's budget instability has cut funding to the Homeless Housing Assistance and Prevention Program that fund our city's shelters, creating the risk that we could lose momentum right when we need to accelerate our successes. We need to stop treating HAP like a short-term fix and instead elevate it to the dependable, ongoing resource that this crisis demands. And that's why I'm calling on anyone running to lead this state as our next governor to pledge to make HAP a permanent staple of our state budget. As we fight for stable funding to keep people sheltered, we also need renewed partnership from all levels of government to confront what remains the most visible thing on our streets: severe mental illness and addiction. I see it. I know you see it too. The people screaming, shouting, and acting out. The people folded over, lost in the grip of illicit fentanyl. People standing in the middle of oncoming traffic. The people openly lighting up on our sidewalks. The truth is that many of the people still living on our streets are not just unsheltered, they are untreated. We need more treatment capacity, more psychiatric care beds, more detox and long-term recovery options. We need faster pathways from the street and into care. And the responsibility for treating the mental illness and addiction that we all see on our streets by law and by funding belongs to the County of San Diego. Now, last year, you may recall, I said that pretty clearly. And this year, I'm going to say this just as clearly. That does not mean that the city of San Diego steps back. It means that we must all step forward together. This challenge is bigger than any one agency, and it will only be solved if we operate as one system. And we're already proving what's possible when we do just that. The city, the county, the San Diego Housing Commission, and the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs are partnering right now on a Home Key Plus project to create 82 new homes for people struggling with behavioral health challenges, a model that pairs housing with services that gets people off the streets for good. That project moved forward with unanimous support from our County Board of Supervisors. And I want to acknowledge Supervisors Joel Anderson and Paloma Aguirre, who are here with us today, for their support in getting this done. Supervisors, thank you so much for stepping into this fight and helping us. And I want you to know, as the county advances applications for the state of California's Proposition 1 funding, which will help them build more beds and treatment facilities, the city will continue to support those efforts because our region can simply not sustain the status quo on mental illness and addiction. So yes, the county has the responsibility for treatment, and the city has the responsibility to insist that treatment exists while continuing to do everything we can to bring people inside and connect them to help. Because when a person is suffering in the open, unhoused, untreated, in crisis, it affects not only their life, but it shapes whether people feel safe in our city. And the truth that I need you to know today is that San Diego remains one of the safest big cities in the United States. San Diego remains one of the safest big cities in America, and that didn't happen just by accident. It happens because San Diegans have a deep pride in our communities. They want us to invest in smart crime-fighting strategies, and because we support the people who protect and serve our neighborhoods. And this year, for the third consecutive year, crime is down in the city of San Diego. Overall crime decreased by 6%. Murders down by 22%. Sexual assault down by 7%. Vehicle thefts declined by 22%. In addition, thanks to the overwhelming approval of Proposition 36, a measure that I supported that gives law enforcement and prosecutors stronger tools to hold repeat retail thieves accountable, we are now seeing progress in curbing retail theft. Local authorities do, however, still need resources to fully implement the law as voters intended. So today I call upon the state leaders to appropriately fund the full implementation of Prop 36. This measure was approved by nearly 70% of California voters. It is the will of the people, and the state must fulfill it. A key part of upholding public safety means restoring dignity in communities that have endured harm for far too long. In Barrio Logan, along Dalbergia Street, residents and businesses have faced the unchecked impacts of sex trafficking because state law wasn't strong enough to hold traffickers accountable, leaving exploitation to play out in front of the eyes of our children and families, in front of schools and businesses. That is completely unacceptable. So we took action and went to Sacramento and passed a new law to crack down on traffickers and protect victims. And I want to thank State Assembly members Nick Schultz and Maggie Krell for authoring that legislation, and thank Governor Gavin Newsom for signing it into law. Restoring dignity and safety in our neighborhoods also, in this time, requires us to recognize a hard truth. Sometimes the threat to our public safety comes from decisions made far away from us, in our nation's capital, and carried out in ways that are designed to instill fear here at home. That is exactly what we are seeing from the president and his administration. And through its ICE operations, the Trump administration is waging a campaign of fear that is terrorizing communities across this country. And I know that you can see it in the families that have been torn apart, in the neighborhoods thrown into chaos, in innocent bystanders put at risk, and in local police officers forced into volatile situations that they didn't ask for and didn't create. We have seen where this kind of reckless enforcement leads. We've seen this firsthand in multiple occasions in our city, but most prominently in South Park last May. And most recently, our entire nation saw this firsthand in the murder of Renee Nicole Good in Minnesota, a life that was lost because of the callous and reckless actions of a federal agent, which outraged all of us. California law is clear. Local police are prohibited from participating in federal immigration enforcement. San Diego will follow that law fully and without exception. That's why last July, I signed an executive order making it unmistakably clear, directing that the San Diego Police Department will not participate in ICE enforcement operations. SDPD is here to protect and serve our communities, all of our communities, including our immigrant communities. And I want to thank our Police Chief Scott Wall for his leadership and for standing firm in that commitment. Chief, thank you very much. My friends, we are a border city, a proud binational city, and that is part of what makes us America's finest city. And as your mayor, I will do everything I can to protect the people of this city, to keep our families safe, to protect and support our officers, and to uphold the public safety for everyone who calls this great city home. Now, safety is not just about policing. It's also about the condition of the city that is around us. the roads, streetlights, sidewalks, and basic infrastructure that shape our daily lives. San Diego is a city of extraordinary beauty, but we can't just get by on our looks. We have to also be a city that functions well. And that means roads that are smooth, sidewalks without trip hazards, streetlights that work, and storm drains that do what they're supposed to do. For years, residents in every corner of this city have said the same thing: take care of the basics. And that is what we are doing. This past year, we resurfaced or repaired 468 miles of roads. We also filled more than 44,000 potholes. That means that my administration has repaired 2,161 miles of roads to date, 1/3 of all city-maintained streets. And this year, we're on track to complete even more, over 370 additional miles of road repair in the coming year. Now, I understand, I'm gonna head you off at the pass. We all know our roads are not where they need to be. Anyone who drives across San Diego knows that we have a lot more work to do. But the truth is, we need more sustained resources to meet the standard that you expect and deserve. Now, of course, our infrastructure isn't just roads. It's also streetlights that actually turn on. Because when a streetlight is out, it's not a small thing, everybody. It changes how a neighborhood feels. It changes whether or not a parent feels comfortable walking with their child down the street, or whether a senior feels safe crossing the sidewalk. Thanks to the City Council's support of redirecting parking meter revenue to city crews, we have done record work to repair streetlights in neighborhoods across the city. And I know that you can see that. This year, we are on track to complete more than 2,000 streetlight repairs. And right along streetlights is the need to repair our sidewalks. And this past year, we replaced the most sidewalks in city history. Over 1,500 locations, nearly tripling the previous record of 565 back in 2021. And there's another powerful infrastructure investment that we are making in the future of San Diego. It's an investment that strengthens our neighborhoods, an investment that supports our residents, an investment that is paid for by the visitors who come here to enjoy our great city. After nearly 5 long years of legal obstacles, Measure C, which was approved by the voters of San Diego in 2020, has finally been upheld. And with that victory, we can now move forward. Measure C increased the tourism tax on visitors so that we can reinvest those dollars right back into our city, into our roads, into addressing homelessness, and into modernizing one of the most important economic engines in our city, the San Diego Convention Center. Since last May, Measure C has already generated $35 million. And today, I can announce that I will be asking the City Council to approve a 5-year, $118 million modernization plan for the Convention Center, and to approve the first $21 million to launch this work almost immediately. A project that will strengthen our tourism economy, and a project that will create opportunity for thousands of San Diegans, generating more than 3,000 union construction jobs and over 7,000 permanent jobs right here in San Diego. This is about growth, this is about opportunity, and this is about building a stronger San Diego for the next generation. My fellow San Diegans, when you pair stronger infrastructure with increased housing production, and then combine it with a commitment to safety and dignity for all of us, something important happens. This city becomes more than a place that people visit. It becomes a place that people choose again and again for events, ideas, innovation, and opportunity. A place where you can see a bright future ahead. San Diego has always been a special place. You know it, we all know it, not just because we live here, because when we tell someone that we're from San Diego, their response is often, "I love San Diego." The difference now is that more of the world is seeing it and choosing it. As reported last month, the world-renowned TED Conference has chosen San Diego as the new home of its global gathering beginning in 2027, bringing innovators, researchers, creators, and leaders from all around the world to our city. This past November, the WWE chose to bring a premium live event to San Diego for the first time in a decade, drawing more than 46,000 fans from around the world to Petco Park, showcasing our city on a global stage and bringing customers to our local small businesses. This June, NASCAR will do the same thing. And right now, we are one of just 3 cities and the only American city under consideration to host the 2029 Invictus Games, a global sports competition for wounded and injured veterans. These things matter not just because they're exciting, but because they signal something bigger. That San Diego is a world-class destination, a hub of talent, a city with an economy that attracts investment, a community that welcomes newcomers with a quality of life that other cities envy. And when you connect all those dots and step back and take it all in, what you're seeing is more than progress on individual issues. You're seeing a city that is aligning its ambitions with its action. You're seeing a city that is matching its responsibilities with its resources. You're seeing a city that is finally choosing long-term strength over short-term comfort. You are seeing a city that is becoming what it has always had the potential to be. My friends, you see that our city's story continues to be written. Some prefer to tell it with cynicism or an outlook where the glass is always half empty. A San Diego that is always judged by what is wrong and never by what is improving. My fellow San Diegans, we are not those people. Because the truest of stories about who we are as a city are told in what is built, in what is repaired, in what is protected, and what is finally made possible. It is a city choosing to do the hard work instead of the easy excuse, choosing to fix what has long been deferred, choosing to build what has been denied, choosing to face what has been avoided, and then choosing to keep going. That is the story of our city in this moment. That is who we are as San Diegans. And when we make those choices, over time, progress stops being abstract and it becomes visible. You can see it. You can also see what still needs to be done. There is more to build, more to repair, more to protect, and more to lift up. And so we will continue to do that work. So keep your eyes on the city that we are building and hold us accountable to build it. Keep your faith in the work that is transforming our great city for the better. Keep your belief in the people who make this city run, our city employees, our first responders, our educators, our entrepreneurs, volunteers, and neighbors. Because San Diego is moving forward. We are building, we are leading, and we are a city in transformation. My friends, if you want proof, you don't have to look far. The markers of our progress are all around, and I'm here to tell you that there are even more ahead. All we have to do is choose to see it. Thank you, may God bless you, and may God bless the great city of San Diego.
And with that, we will now adjourn council to the next regularly scheduled council meeting on Monday, January 26, 2026 at 10 a.m. We are adjourned.
Rumble Cloud, your freedom, our promise. Break free from big tech's grip with a cloud service that champions your right to innovate. No vendor lock-in, no hidden fees, just transparent, predictable pricing. Trust a company that supports a free and open internet, ensuring your business thrives. Embrace true digital independence. Rumble Cloud, your freedom. Sign up today at rumble.cloud. Rumble Cloud, your freedom, our promise. Break free from big tech's grip with a cloud service that champions your right to innovate. No vendor lock-in, no hidden fees, just transparent, predictable pricing. Trust a company that supports a free and open internet, ensuring your business thrives. Embrace true digital independence. Rumble Cloud, your freedom. Sign up today at rumble.cloud.